So at the part 1 of the weapon fire line tracing, we stopped at here. So I mentioned the issue uh, that we faced. So it actually detecting the camera start location properly, but the end location is not quite accurate, right? Actually, it's too much closer to the exact same starting point, right? Which is not what we want. Instead, we need sort of like a forward vector adjustment where it actually go to a certain range from starting from this specific start location, right? uh, so in order to do that, we first need to determine our look at rotation. So we can do that. Look at rotation from where again? uh, right, maybe let's get the fine look at rotation. We should determine what's the target, right? uh, right, so I'll add again I'm saying like we can actually return a specific target location as 0 for the player character, which is fine, but for the NPCs actually they doesn't have a camera, right? So since they doesn't have a camera, they doesn't have a like valid 0 location to implement its camera target actor. Therefore I think we should have a way to determine that and return it properly. So I'll implement a new function called get AI target location. Right, so this function also should be a pure function and it will return a vector which is a single value as a return value, right? So I should do the same thing that I've done here at the get camera transform. So here I'm checking whether I'm a player or not. Based on that, I'll determining whatever the transform or the return value that I should return. Similarly, I'll copy the stuff to here and let's say no, I'll rename this as get target location, right? So if this one is a player controlled, then we can simply return the 000 location. But if this one is not a player controlled, which means NPC character, then we should consider it accordingly, right? So how we can do that? Right. So there actually we should get the focus actors target location, right? But sometimes the target actor can be a valid character or it can be some sort of another any place or any sort of a item or object in the level. Therefore I will first get this character reference and first check whether this one is AI controlled. So if we have valid AI controller, then potentially we have a valid reference for the NPC. And then let's get the focus actor, right? Because if you remember at the behavior tree, we explicitly set the set focus actor over there. So this function will be able to return that specific actor, right? And let's check whether we have a valid actor that is being focused. So if it is being focused, then we can cast to the character, or we can simply get the character, and I'll promote this local variable called get character. Right. Then if we have valid character, then we can actually consider its hierarchy of its character mesh. So here actually we have the skeletal mesh assets. So its skeletal hierarchy is something like this. So let's say if the NPC is targeting to a character or a humanoid character like this, then it should focus a specific ball, right? For attack, right? Otherwise it can like hit for any location, which would not be ideal. So instead I'll take a specific location, right? So maybe the spine 3 would be nice. I'm thinking yeah, so let's use spine 3, spine underscore 3. So I'll get the mesh from this character reference and get the socket location as spine 3, right? So this could be another return value if the firing actor is the firing target actor is a character, right? So we simply aiming to the spine 3 location. Again, I'm saying this stuff will be useful when the NPC firing logics has been tested. Otherwise, like for the player, like this would be fine because we are actually camera oriented. But yeah, let's cover everything so it would be easy later on. And in case if this one is not a valid cast, we can check whether this one is a valid character or not, right? Otherwise we can't get the character reference. If this one is valid, we can return it like this. If not, then instead of considering the character, we can return the actor location of the focused actor, right? Okay, so this one is bit long, so I will add certain comments, right? So I'll add a comment here. If player, then return 0 0 0 location. Then this one, if NPC, or let's say if AI, then let's say if owner is AI, then consider the target actor's possible hit location. Right. Then I'll go back to get trace location function, and let's use that get target location to find look at rotation. So once we find the look at rotation, then we can actually get its forward vector, right? Something like this. Right, but I think since we have explicit camera that has been taken from the player, maybe we can get the forward vector from there as well, right? So this one is specifically targeting NPCs and this one is specifically targeting the player. So I'll rename this function. I think get AI target location would be fine. And I think I can further simplify this one. Maybe I can move this stuff to here, and I don't need this stuff, and I'll simply plug it to here. Right. The function is basically targeting getting the target location from the AI, right? And here now we have the AI target location and the player target location forward vectors. So how we can determine whether we are player or not? Again, I can go to the trace location function. Here it is. Sorry, get camera transfer. So I can use this stuff at here, right? And then I can make a selection. So if this one is a player control, then which means it's a player, so I can get the forward vector directly. If this one is not player control, then it's NPC character, so that I can get the forward look at rotation based forward vector like this, right? And if this one is confusing, I'll explain it later on as well, but for now I just needed to implement it here, so we won't miss this one later on. Right, so once the forward vector has been detected, we need to extend it towards a specific range, right? So that we have a dedicated endpoint. Otherwise, actually this one will point at the same location as the start location, right? Instead, we need to actually sort of lengthen this specific vector to that specific direction. Therefore, we can use sort of like an effective range. Yeah, that weapon can be effective. Maybe we can parameterize that as well. So I'll go to the data structure firearm weapon config, and I'll add a new variable called effective range, or simply let's say range, which is a float, and by default I will give like a very large value, maybe like 10,000. Okay, then at the firearm weapon base, let's get this firearm weapon config, and I'll break it, and I just need to get this range. So whatever the value returned from here, I'll multiply by that float. So I'll no should be float. Right, so the range is now been plugged. And then what we can do then, so this actually this randomizations comes with the accuracy, right? But yeah, I will edit to this randomized value as the endpoint, right? Okay, now actually it should work. So I'll play test. Okay, now you can see actually it returns a valid endpoint, right? So whenever the location that I'm being targeted to, it's been hit, right? But the I think the target is sort of like going through the character as well, but it is being ignored because I made it ignored. But yeah, ideally it works. Okay. Uh, I just need to test how the weapon firing works with NPCs as well, because I added these stuff. So let's add one of our NPC characters. This game characters EP enemy, and this guy should have a pistol by default. Yeah, it has a pistol. But currently it won't fire you because this guy doesn't actually know when to be fired or not, right? Plus it can't be moved. So I'll add a, maybe I'll move it to here, and I'll add a now mesh bounce volume. Maybe this is too much. How about 5,000? Yep. Okay, now yeah, the NPC now can move. Plus the focus is also there, but it can't fire you back. So I don't know actually how the line trace is been applied. So let's go to the weapon NPC base, and at the tick function I'll add a delay, maybe like for 1 second, and I'll toggle fire. Again, this is just for testing. I just need to see how the toggle firing works at the NPC level. Right. Okay, now you can see actually how the line tracing works. So, right. So even if this NPC doesn't have a camera, actually it can detect where to hit, right? Because we added that AI find AI target location functionality, right? And as you can see, it's targeting for my spine, the spine 3 location, because I added it as the socket location, right? But for example, let's say I always needed to target to head, then I can do that as well. All I have to do is get the socket location of the head, socket name of the head actually, and I think yeah, do we have a socket called head? Yeah, we have a called head. So let's copy the selected bone names, and let's go to the firearm weapon base, and at here get AI target location. Instead of this socket, let's make it as head. So if I play it now, you can see when the NPC is attacking me, it's sort of targeting my head, right? Okay. But I think maybe we can parameterize this one as well. Uh, yeah, maybe I'll add another struct called AI target born locations, or like AI target sockets, and this should be the type of name, and ideally it should be an array. By default I will add the spine 03 as the AI target sockets. Let's go to here, and at the weapon base actually I can customize it further. Maybe like I'll add I don't know, maybe I'll add, I'm not quite sure it's a good practice to add head, because if you hit head at once, then the character should instantly die, but currently those logic has not been implemented. So for now I will add head as well, and maybe like we can attack to arms as well. So maybe like we have this upper arm L and upper arm R, so let's add those sockets as well. Upper arm L, upper arm R, and maybe you can target the legs of the characters as well. So we have thigh L, calf L, and calf R. Maybe we can target calf L. I'm not quite sure, but let's see. So calf L and calf R. Yeah, these locations would be fine. And based on the fire, we should be able to get some sort of a random element from this array. So I'll get the weapon config, break it, I'll get the target sockets, and let's get a random array element out of it, and I'll plug it to here. And let's say in case if you forgot to initialize this variable, then this shouldn't ideally return a null socket name. Therefore I will first check that this one is not equal to, actually not equal to empty string. So I'll add a select string here, sorry, not equal select, yeah, that's the socket name. If this one is not equal, then we get the random location, but in case if this one is empty, then I'm simply pointing it to spine 3 location, 3 socket location actually. Right, okay, then let's play test it again. Now you can see actually the character is sort of hitting me in multiple different locations, right? So he can hit my legs, he can hit my arms, also head, and also the spine, right? So based on the socket location that the NPC is hitting, later on actually we can implement multiple different damage hierarchy as well, to make add more dynamic behavior, and make it more interactive, make it more fun for the player. But yeah, currently actually it's working as the way I want. Right, so all of this stuff can be happened or is been happening on this function, which is AI target location, right? For the player firing, it's simply a constant what do you say, a constant hit result determined by us, right? Because we have the total control over the player, so we can determine where to actually hit by using our camera. But for the NPC, it doesn't have such a capability, right? So it is sort of autonomous, so it should be able to determine its own target location, not entirely randomly, but sort of like looking towards the specific focus vector, right? So hope this thing is clear. Plus actually this randomized bounding box values comes with the accuracy, and maybe we can discuss those stuff in the next tutorial, right? Otherwise this one will be a bit longer as well. Yeah, so I think that's it. Maybe I'll add several comments here, because it's sort of a long functionality that we have here. Maybe I will move it to here, and no, I'll copy the function again and promote it to a local variable called L camera transform, and then I'll get the transform here, split it at the location like this, and I'll copy the same thing. No, maybe since we are not interested on the scale, can split it like this, and I'll promote it to L camera location and L camera rotation. Right, so I'll get rid of this one. I'll plug the location, and for the start location this should be it, and as the find look at rotation we can use this one, and as the rotation we can use this one. I can get rid of this one, also this one, and finally plug it to here. Right, so we don't have like unorganized pins like this, so it's much more organized. And there I will comment this one called npc hit target location, or like let's say get npc hit target location based on the focused actor, right? Then this one is get player hit location, player hit target location based on the camera rotation. So we have the control over it, and this one is actually determined whether it's a player or not. So I will organize those stuff to here. Is player, let's say is owner, no, let's say is player. Right, and then this one is basically bit range. Basically we are extending its forward vector, and finally this one is accuracy, right? but I'll keep it uncommented for now, because in the next tutorial we can implement certain functionalities for the accuracy. So for now I will keep it as it is, right? And this stuff has been commented, so you can easily understand those stuff. Here also, like get camera transform, maybe I can comment it. Let's say I don't know, let's say here. Maybe I'll add a bubble here. If owner is not the player, then return the actor location as camera location. But if it is the player, if player, then return the actual camera transform. This should be the transform as well. Plus I will add a to do here called replace this once implemented the player camera manager, right? Because later on we are going to implement a dedicated player camera manager, so that we don't need to explicitly cast it like this, right? So I'll make it sort of brown. This is the to do functionality. Yep. So get hit results. This one is sort of self-explanatory. Yeah, I think all good. So again, I'll do the final demonstration. So if the NPC is hitting to me, it can determine a random location to hit, it could be a leg, it could be head, or it could be a clavicle arm, or it could be the spine location, right? And if the player is hitting, then the entire control is up to me, so that I can determine where to hit, right? So I can determine the end location like this, right? So that's how we can implement the line tracing logics, and I'll see you there. Thank you.